It all started about 65 million years ago. A meteorite appeared and wiped out the dinosaur kingdom. Blackout. Under the impact of the meteorite, the air was filled with small particles of dust, and the Earth, deprived from the heat of the sun, was cooled down instantaneously. It was the beginning of a long glacial period and the end of the giant reptiles. Ice and dust covered the bodies of the largest creatures ever known to Earth. At the foot of a pine tree, a pond overtaken by ice is home to a small but voracious predator who outlived the rest, the water beetle. The cold water slowed down his metabolism. His vital functions are reduced to a minimum, and immobile, he is forced to live off the oxygen reserves in his abdomen. Gradually, oxygen gives place to carbon dioxide. He must replace his oxygen reserves by trying to find, under the ice, an air bubble. Thanks to this incredible system of hibernation, water beetles survive the glacial period and the long wait for spring. To this day, they wait in exactly the same way. The ice melts slowly away, gradually bringing the pond out into the open. This particular one is a male, easily recognizable by the circular suckers on his front legs. His abrupt movements under the ice are noticed by a nearby female wearing a scored shell. Being male or female, the fight is equal. They must replace their poisoned air with pure air. Thus begins a contemporary story with insects for actors, whose ancestors date back to prehistoric times, the era of the dinosaurs. This pond where the water beetles couple is situated in France, close to the town of Troyes. February. The ice has melted away, evaporating into the air, and the excess humidity is shown by the sheet of mist covering the surface of the water. The sun's rays barely penetrate the water's depth due to this natural barrier. In this opaque world, the water beetles rarely use their eyes. Their antennae act as a blind man's stick, guiding them around through the murky waters. As the water warms up, the beetles become more active, especially the female. Her eggs were fertilized last summer, and she has kept them throughout the winter. She waits for the warmth before laying. By means of her adapted oviposa, she lays her eggs on stalks of water iris. We will never know why she chooses one stalk to another, but in less than 2 weeks, she will have laid around 30 eggs. Once anchored to the stalks, the eggs receive their air through photosynthesis of the host plant, but with little sunlight entering the pond, photosynthesis is limited, thus slowing down their development. The coming warm weather will soon clear away the mist, bringing back their natural speed of growth. Finally, the mist dissolves into the air, bringing to light the open pond. The moist ground around this releases odors of damp and humus into the air. The alluring smells attract other creatures related to the dinosaur out of their long, hibernating holes. After 6 months of slumber, the red frog has one thing in mind: to have a good bath. The chosen pool is the pine tree pond. Awakened from his slumber by the frog's motions, another creature from prehistoric times shows face: the newt. He also thinks it would be a good idea to refresh his thoughts and take a little dip. The sun's rays heat the pond at full blow. The temperature of the water keeps rising. Good news for the water beetles, whose metabolism works something like a motor. It needs warming up before functioning properly. Until the motor is properly heated and all the vital functions working, the water beetle can't even catch a young salamander. Oops, missed it this time. Not for long, though. The male water beetle is going to let off some steam on his partner, who is just as apathetic. This time, it's not to overcome his hunger, but to satisfy an urging sexual desire. What seems like a savage attack is nothing but foreplay before breeding. He holds onto his partner by means of his suckers. The female, afraid of dying asphyxiated, avoids any excess movement which could cost her oxygen reserves. For over 3 hours, the male grips his drowsy partner. Once having accomplished his duty as a male, he will place a jelly-like stopper into the opening of the female, preventing further impregnation from other males and to ensure gene purity. The female will carry this chastity belt for approximately 2 weeks. Not far off, a male newt is aroused by this frenzy of lovemaking and has started his own preparations. In a cream jacket with black spots, he must impress his lady. Their eyes meet. and all is clear. It's time for some acrobatics. Oh, she looks more upset than impressed. Unfortunately, she remains insensitive to the most explicit gestures. No question about it. She's bored, so off she goes. A newt in love never gives up, he insists. Until there is no point in going on. March. Nature's rhythms mingle with rain and sun. Under the surface of the water beetle's eggs start showing signs of life. Their movements attract an opportunist mollusk, the marsh limnae. An uncovered egg is a delicacy not to be missed. The marsh limnaes are equipped with lungs and need to come up to the surface of the water to replenish their air supply. They hold their breath whilst trapezing along the iris stalks in search of an easy catch. More often than not, the marsh limnae has to rush up for air before having finished her meal. The punctured eggs she abandons are soon taken over by bacteria. A corpse, water, and sunlight, an attractive home place for spirillum, who colonize this raw meat. Eggs which survive predation from both the marsh limnae and bacteria will soon be able to hatch. Instinctively after hatching, the young larvae swim to the surface to breathe. They're equipped with a pair of small flaps which have a double role, the exchange of gas and to keep them floating on the surface of the water. To our eyes, these creatures look antisocial and quite frankly hideous. But of what use are our beauty criteria to this microcosmos world? These translucid creatures will have to overcome many an obstacle to survive their first days, which is more than cause for admiration. This one is the first one to see daylight. Let's call her number 1. Shortly after, number 2 tries to hatch. Since the laying of the eggs, the stalk has slowly deformed in shape. Oh, number 2 is in trouble. Its legs and claws are stuck. She's not the only one. Number 4 and 5 cannot get themselves free either. They are stuck at the abdomen. With a tremendous effort, number 2 manages to free its legs. Numbers 4 and 5 are struggling to do the same. Number 4 still has a long way to go, whilst number 2 is trying to free its claws. Let's summarize the situation. Number 5 is stuck at the level of its abdomen, as is number 4. Number 2 is stuck by its claws. Night falls. Numbers 2, 4 and 5 still fight to set themselves free. In the moonlight, number 3 hatches. At dawn, number 2 is still stuck by its claws. Number 4 is partially free. And number 5 is still asleep. While number 2 takes a break, number 4 gives it her last shot. Exhausted by such an effort, number 4 hasn't got the energy to swim to the surface. She lands on a water louse, who takes her to her destination. Motivated by number 4's success, number 2 tries even harder. All in vain, she dies through asphyxiation. On the other hand, number 5 kept at it patiently, which obviously did the trick. The cleaning up squad comes into action. Bloodworms. These tireless dustbin creatures in red uniforms are at the base of the tropical food chain. They transform organic debris into energy. These two here are trying to free an egg stuck in the filaments of the iris stalk. They are joined by another helper, a mollusk equipped with lungs, the ram's horn snail. Now fortunately, he's a vegetarian. Thanks to the group sweeping up, the future number 6 will be able to hatch with no problem. Out of the 30 eggs laid, only 10 will hatch. We will follow the development of 5 ordinary larvae, number 1, number 3, number 4, number 5 and number 6. Now during this time, our male water beetle has lost track of his partner. She's definitely out of sight. He can't control himself any longer. With no female interested in him, he liberates his sperm into the water alone. Well, more work for the little red cleaners. Left to eat all day long, the bloodworms have proliferated. The pond bed has become a ghetto, where each one claims vital space. On the verge of this territory, number 4 has found a prey. She has detected the vibrations of a solitary bloodworm. Face to face with its predator, the bloodworm has only one choice: to bury itself in the mud. The larvae is able to detect the twisting and turning of the bloodworm so as to precisely detect its position. This one has no way of burying itself under a pile of pebble. To catch her first prey, number 4 must learn how to use her weapons, her claws. It's just a question of practice. Number 4 has just discovered that her claws are not enough to immobilize the victim, but that it also has a chemical weapon at its disposal. A violent poison which kills the prey by digesting it from the inside out. When the poison has done its work, the predator just needs to suck up the juice. Drawn by the sucking and chewing noises, an aquatic monster makes his appearance. We'll call him the Green Giant for the moment and watch what's going to happen. A pond, like a jungle, abides by the survival of the fittest rule. Number 4 has just paid the price. In the meantime, the 4 other larvae are having a feast. Bloodworm after bloodworm, they are insatiably eating until they stop through exhaustion. Sometimes they're forced to stop for a pause. Number 1 detects some strange vibrations coming from below. It is a newt. Great eaters of plump bloodworm, they do not like to share their feast. The tragic fate of number 4 seems to have taught his sisters a lesson. Never fight anyone bigger than yourself. That's the golden rule. It's better to run away than to take useless risks. Like the water beetle, the newt detects its prey as soon as it moves. His eyes, bulging as they are poor of sight. They are there for another reason. Newts haven't a tongue and have problems swallowing. This is where their eyes come into use. When the newt closes its eyes, these fall back into their sockets in the back of the head, thus projecting the food into their boneless mouths, down into their stomachs. Better one than none is a newt's motto. Insatiable eaters, they will soon finish off the stock of bloodworm available. Fortunately, there will be soon new arrivals. A red frog is laid in the shadow of the pine tree, close to 10,000 eggs, if not more. Each egg will produce a larvae of not more than 1 millimeter long. End of March. Springtime has arrived, and the flowers show all their colours to attract the pollen collectors. The pine tree pond has gone down in water level. A race against the clock is set for the water beetle larvae. Number 6 is 8 days old. Having indulged in bloodworm over the last days, she can barely fit into her shell. If all goes well, it will take her 1 hour to get rid of this tight corset. Under peril of dying asphyxiated, everything should run smoothly since it is all done underwater, without breathing. Number 6 will be the first to leave the cloakroom with a new outfit. The other 4 larvae will shed their cloaks simultaneously. The remains float aimlessly at the surface of the water. The larvae are now at the second stage of their life cycle. The bloodworms have become scarce. The fight for food increases. There is only room for one survivor. It's a state of war. Oof, number 5 has been bitten by number 3. She tries to get rid of the poison injected into her abdomen. Overtaken by her urge to get rid of the poison, number 5 has forgotten to keep guard. Number 3 comes back for more. Another larvae is attracted by the attack. It is number 6, starving like the rest. In order to survive, they have to kill, even if it means killing one of their own. It is of no importance. The sacrifice of number 5 means that the rest of the larvae may be saved from starvation. The assaulting larvae each in turn inject their poison, their digestive enzymes. As with the bloodworm, the enzyme liquefies the victim. The two attackers suck up this pre-digested soup. In a couple of hours, all the accumulated energy which number 5 had in 10 days has passed on to number 3 and number 6. By practicing acts of cannibalism, the water beetle larvae are ensured of having at close food reserves which they can digest totally. Hidden below the roots, the father of these larvae watches its siblings kill each other. Is this the beginning of the end? Just looking around the pond, he assures himself. Without a doubt, all the larvae have molted and are strong enough to impose their own laws. From now on, they reign over the Pine Tree Pond Kingdom. The countdown begins. The first one to reach adulthood is the winner. The male water beetle is no longer master of the pond. His siblings now attack one of the last possible meals, tadpoles. Tadpoles don't make it easy either. Number 6 will have to hunt down her prey, but she's not the only one after a meal. The green giant has also got his eye on it. Too slow, green giant. Furthermore, on top of her twig, number 6 had prepared her attack well. After having eaten half of number 5 and a whole tadpole, number 6 is in a strong position to win. Her belly filled to the full, she will be able to go through to the third phase of her development. There's still time, but the water is evaporating quickly. A few inches separate the surface from the bottom of the pond. From the bottom, number 6 comes to the surface for his last gasp of air before going back down to molt. The molting goes on and on. For number 6, it's just routine. Even if she loses a bit of her poison under the effort of getting rid of her shell, it only takes her 10 minutes to complete her underwater striptease. Just below the surface, number 3 prepares herself to undergo the change. That is, if aggressive number 1 allows her to. Having been left out of the feast over number 5, number 1 is hungry and obviously ready to catch up on lost weight. Disturbed in her molting, number 3 can't even get her head out of her old skin. Unbelievably, something incredible is going to happen. To understand, watch closely the colour change in the larvae's body. Instant death. Number 3 poisoned herself. Number 6 is the only one to reach phase 3. She is now the invincible. What can number 1 do against such a power? Remember the golden rule, never put up a front against someone stronger than yourself. A memory slip could be fatal. May. The heat grows and the evaporation accelerates. The dew rapidly disappears into thin air. The pond and its inhabitants are threatened. There's barely any water left. In the few inches still left, a miracle. A bloodworm has survived. His destiny is quite uncertain. Number 6 recognizes these movements. The vibrations betray the bloodworm's hideout, but this time number 6 is not alone. Facing him, the green giant is still around. A duel is inevitable, even if it's over a tiny bloodworm. Number 6 tries to go around her rival to try to reach the bloodworm before him. The vibrations are closer. The green giant quickly moves into place. The two rivals are the same size and equal in power. Number 6 doesn't make the first move. Instead, she abandons the prey and territory to the winner. The green giant managed to replenish its reserves just in time before the pond dries out. Coming out of the water, he will reveal to us his real identity. The green giant was no more and no less than the larvae of a dragonfly. Now everyone can breathe in the pond. Pest will fly away. Number 6 also abandons the ship. She is the last survivor. She searches for a crevice in the earth to dig her chamber. Out of sight of predators and from sunlight, she will go into her next phase, that of a nymph. After 1 month of fasting, this nymph must still hold tight for another couple of weeks for the colour of its wings. During which time the pond has completely dried up. Number 6 leaves her hideout. It is a female. Weakened by her latest experiences, she has yet another hurdle to get past. There is no water left. Number 6 is not used to dry environments. There is only one way out. Fly away and look for another pond. Now, as we've said before, the water beetle is short-sighted and colourblind. Due to this, collision is always a risk. She searches for reflections, which normally means water. The first pond will do. Now this pond is covered in duckweed, usual in stagnant waters, as well as having some strange inhabitants. Who are these funny-faced creatures? Tadpoles, who've reached their final development stage. Face to face with frogs, the golden rule is still applicable. Better not insist in confrontation and find somewhere else to play, deeper below. In this pond, the bloodworms are not the usually slow, lazy larvae who wander the pond bed. They now go up to the surface by means of a new technique. They have weird-shaped flaps. We will find out their function later. The order of events is chronological. First, the bloodworm goes up to the surface covered in duckweed. It uses its flaps to keep him afloat at the surface. Then, the red uniformed dustbin men are close relatives to the mosquito. 2 months have gone by, and number 6 still hasn't eaten. To make matters worse, she is going to be the aim of many a predator coming from the skies. The waders. Not around during the dinosaur dynasty, these enemies are today known as the egret, the heron, and the spoonbill. For a water beetle, it's better to be out of the way of these modern exterminators. Well, luckily for number 6, these waders prefer soft-shell larvae. Nevertheless, it is the end of summer and she still has had nothing to eat. One way to forget one's hunger is to take one long last gasp and hibernate. Once woken in springtime, the queen of the pine tree pond will be able to pass on her priceless experience to her descendants. Survive at all costs. Meanwhile, she's probably dreaming of a world populated by millions of ready-to-eat prey, where green giants fly away every day.